Let's see, we've got this big trunk here, and I'm wondering if we position ourselves in a certain way, if we can get that mountain right in between it. It's not a perfect circle, so it might not be perfect here. Better than nothing. Okay, hello everyone. I am at the English Boom Trail. First time here before. It's on a little island. Before I start though, I want to walk along this beach for just a second here. This area has a lot of birds, so I'm hoping to get some cool photos of different types of birds along the way here. So even just right here, we've got a bird just kind of, I think maybe even feeding a couple baby birds in that little hut up top. So let's see if we can get in right up close on it here. I'm gonna try and position myself this way so the background is the blue sky instead of the busy trees behind it here. Just something like that should be pretty nice. So that is hopefully a very small taste of what's to come here. Let's get on this trail and see what we got here. All right, here we go. It is a bit windy, so hopefully I'm able to kind of filter out some of that wind noise. But if the audio is not great, ignoring the helicopter above me, then that is why. I really like this bridge. I'm gonna try and get it head on here. Just kind of get some of that texture. I think I like the edge of it more with that green kind of just surrounding it there. And this is a cool little spot here. These little leaves just kind of poking out of this trunk. Let's get that off the screen there. Go and get a focus on it here. Today I am using the Sony A7IV with my big 70-200 Sony f2.8 lens to hopefully help us get in close on some of this wildlife. And I can see already over there, there's some action on this post with some of these birds. They're all kind of taking their spot. And this is a really nice just opening here with all this driftwood just kind of laying in between these pieces of greenery that have sort of grown around it here. Just gonna kind of take a wide shot of it all. Nothing too fancy there. And I haven't taken a shot of it yet, but we've got a great view of Mount Baker over here. We'll see if we can get some layers going. Keep this greenery with the driftwood in the foreground here. Got that mid-ground with that sort of wetlands area out there, and then Mount Baker in the background. We'll zoom in and get a bit of a closer look at the details. See if we can catch one of these birds in the air. Might be tough, but we've got the shutter speed at 1/800. We should be able to freeze that motion in the air. It's really just a matter of if the autofocus does us a favor on that one. Again, we've got another nice piece of wood here, and I think we can frame it or create a nice frame here with those flowers and leaves just blowing behind it. I'm gonna lower the aperture just a little bit here so we can include some of that focus on the flowers as well. That should work. Let's see if we can grab one of this guy, kind of right in front of this mountain here. Bit of a different subject we can play with to frame that nicely. Oh, and we've got a cool plane up here as well. Didn't quite get the photo with the mountain. We'll just try and zoom in here and capture it against that nice even blue background there. Again, with this wood here, it's a really nice contrast of both texture and color. With this really white piece of wood just nestled in all that green grass there. There's a nice little stream along here. If we end up getting closer to it on this trail, that might be a cool photo. And then I think I might grab one just of this trail here, sort of leading through just everything that's going on here. It's going to be tough to be constantly switching between the bird photography settings and then just kind of everything else that we want. And we might be set up in a good spot here to get this stream lined up with the mountain in the background there. If we get just a little bit lower, I'm going to try and snap it before this guy comes into frame. And then we can wait and grab one with him in frame as well. Got a couple options there. And I think we'll go another mountain shot here, just with this little post in front of it. Can bump that aperture down, just so a bit more of that mountain is in focus there. Something like that should work. Oh, we've got some birds right here.
Good morning.
There's some nice shots there. I like this composition here. Just a nice simple one of that wood kind of winding through. And then I think if we can get the edge of this bridge included in a shot with this guy in the background, that could be nice. A little tough with this lens. And he doesn't quite pop as much as I would have hoped, but that's okay. And I think we can kind of just look down here at this little stream and kind of take one of all these textures under the water here. Something simple like that. Maybe we can grab one leading through the stream a bit more here. Focus on this log resting down. And we've got a great little patch of flowers around this log now. That could be a nice backdrop for that. I think I hear an owl out in the distance, but I doubt we'll get any eyes on it. Oh, this is a cool little frame here with this flower. It's definitely behind the trunk, but it looks like it's coming right out of it. So that's kind of fun. All this grass is really nice. I think we can get a little lower and zoom in just a bit, and then we'll have a frame full of this grass here, which is kind of fun, which is kind of cool. Got a nice opportunity for trail picture here. That nice tree background. Wow, look at this little pond. Water's a bit grimy. I don't see too much of subject here. So maybe I'll just focus on this little stump and get that log beneath it involved while we're still able to capture that kind of textures of what's ever in the background on that water there. And maybe we can get in on the bugs on this floating patch here. Let's see, we've got this big trunk here, and I'm wondering if we position ourselves in a certain way, if we can get that mountain right in between it. It's not a perfect circle, so it might not be perfect here. Better than nothing. And this is just quite nice here with this water. Can't get quite as wide as I probably would prefer, but that's okay. And I think we'll opt for just another wide environment shot here, but we can include some of these little flowers in it. Again, we're a bit limited with this lens, but something like this should work. That should be nice. I've been taking pictures pretty much every week for this calendar year so far, and it's interesting how much my perspective on things has just changed in the real world. I'm gonna stop and take one of this real quick. But I think I've kind of trained myself to start seeing sort of the beauty in things even when I don't have my camera, which is kind of a fun little side effect of taking more pictures. There's a little grasshopper down here that I've been seeing jump around, but just haven't been able to spot before they jump away. Look at this, just blocking the trail here. We get those mountains in the background and a nice subject. We've gotten a bit closer to the mountain here, so it might be a good time to just zoom in and snap another one, because you can never have too many. of something like this. And I really like this little post. It's got a nice shadow that adds to the photo a little bit here. Trying to kind of make that just the main piece of our frame there. Excuse me.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. I think we can, kind of a nice subject on the trail there. Got a bird somewhat close. Maybe got one there of it alone in the sky. And then this is just perfect. We can really lead the eye through to this water with this log. That should be good. And then this way we've got a nice frame as well. And this one I'm gonna probably zoom in a bit. I didn't love the frame, how it was at 70mm there. I also just really like this layering of textures that's going on here. I'm gonna have to bump the ISO pretty high here to get what we want. And take a couple steps back. But I like the layering of both the light and the textures there. Get kind of the best of both worlds on that one. Yeah, it looks like this is the end of our trail. And again, this is just a really beautiful area here. It's tough to get that grass moving visualized in an image, especially without a tripod here. So I'm not gonna focus too much on that, but I think this will do it. This has been a really nice trail, very relaxing and pretty quiet, only a couple of people that I saw along the way. And I think we got some good photos throughout. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.